Welcome viewers. Another difficult day has unfolded in Judea and Samaria. You think the Palestine protesters would talk about all this, but within just 48 hours, multiple terror attacks, stabbings, arson incidents and deadly assaults have shaken Jewish communities across the region. Behind every headline is a family grieving, a community under pressure, and ordinary people responding to extraordinary danger. Today we examine the attacks that unfolded, the lives affected, and the response emerging from communities determined to endure despite continued violence. The thing that the Western world doesn't understand about the Middle East is that aggravation after aggravation, assault, violence, murder, maiming. Relative to the Palestinian situation, Israel just got to the stage where it said no more. And they did everything they could, as best as they could, to bring ceasefire to that region. They haven't been able to do it. Hamas is still attacking, still maiming its own people. But let's look at this story. Judea and Samaria still under attack.
Tough day for Israel, especially the people of Judea and Samaria. Not only a tough day, but a tough last week. You guys know there was a fire in Chavat Gilad, which is the Jewish community right behind me, last week. And today there was another deadly terrorist attack, which left one Israeli Jew murdered, a father of two young children, left behind his wife and two young children. He was murdered just a couple of hours ago, right at the junction behind me. And not only that, but there was several other terrorist attacks yesterday and today. Multiple people injured. There's been fires. There's been arson. It's just a really hard time for Israel. So I'm standing on location right now in between the Mount of Blessing, Har Bracha, which is where our studios are located, and this is Yitzhar over here to the south, and behind me Chavat Gilad, which is the site of the devastating fire from last week, as well as the site, or close to Chavat Gilad, was the site of a terrorist attack today. Really awful attack. First, Benayahu Melet was a 32-year-old man, head of agriculture in Chavat Gilad. He was also part of the first responder security team. He unfortunately was murdered. He left behind his wife and two children, and may his memory be only for a blessing. His funeral will be today. So a group of hikers left Har Bracha early this morning before dawn. They coordinated their hike with the security, the local security, so it was all coordinated in advance, it was organized, and they were planning to hike right through here, going through Chavat Gilad and ending up in Kidumim. Well, they were first attacked by Arabs, I think around 7 a.m., and thankfully they were able to get away and escape from those Arabs. An hour later, they were surrounded by another group of Arabs. We're talking throwing stones, shouting, yelling, and generally attacking them. They called for help. The IDF was dispatched to the area, as well as the local security teams. One of those security teams was from Chavat Gilad, because that's the nearest Jewish community. Benayahu Melet was a 32-year-old man, part of the security team, who responded in the course of the incident, because the soldiers were afraid to open fire, even though these were terrorists. And the security team was trying to push back the rioters who were attacking the group of hikers. In the course of that, this young father's weapon, his rifle, was taken from him, was stolen from him, and a terrorist, who the hikers actually say was the local sheik from the local Arab village, opened fire on the group. He was murdered. Another young man was critically injured. He's fighting for his life right now. And a third was also moderately injured. Both are in the hospital right now. In the ensuing battle that took place, the IDF then opens fire. 4 of the Arab terrorists were thankfully neutralized. 3 others were also wounded in the firefight, and they escaped. The IDF commenced a manhunt. Thankfully, at this time, they are reporting that the sheik terrorist, the sheik, remember this, a leader from the Arab village, who had the weapon, was neutralized, and the weapon that he stole was recovered. There's something really important that you should know. Yesterday was Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, which is the saddest day on the Jewish calendar. It's when the entire Jewish nation, as well as Jewish people worldwide, mourn the destruction of the first and the second temples, as well as a number of other disastrous things that happened to Israel and the Jewish people on this very day. The Arab terrorists, the jihadi forces, those who hate Israel and hate the Jewish people, commenced as many terrorist attacks, as many violent attacks as they possibly could on the saddest day of the year, while the Jewish people are fasting, no food, no water. Yesterday, there was multiple terrorist attacks. Another one, which you may have heard, was there was a fire, a massive fire that broke out near the Avraham farm, near Alon Moreh, between Itamar and Alon Moreh, which is right in this area. It's over here to the east. In the course of that, a farmer that we know here at the Israel Guys, and someone who we've worked with in the past, named Itamar Cohen, he's also one of the founders and pioneers of the farming agricultural movement here in Samaria, responded to the fire, and while he was helping to put out the flames, he was jumped by 2 Arab terrorists and stabbed multiple times in his body. Thankfully, a civilian who was nearby was able to respond, neutralize both terrorists, and then provide critical life-saving treatment. He was life-flighted by helicopter to the hospital, and the latest report that we heard today is that he is going to survive. He will recover, but he was critically wounded. And as I mentioned, this is someone that we know here at the Israel Guys. Is actually somebody here in Samaria. In addition to those 2 terrorist attacks, there were several more. Yesterday, there was another attack in northern Samaria where an Israeli was jumped by Arab terrorists, stabbed in the leg. Thankfully, they were neutralized. He survived. That was at the site of where they're going to establish a brand new Jewish community very soon. And then today, after this awful, horrendous terrorist attack, there was another rock-throwing and violent terrorist attack by local Arabs. So just really a tough time. Massive fire, which demolished 30 homes and buildings in Chavat Gilad last week. At least 4 terrorist attacks yesterday and today. So it's a very tough time for Israel. We do ask that you pray and stand with Israel and the Jewish people at this time.
Viewers, yesterday multiple terror attacks were reported throughout Samaria. In northern Samaria, an Israeli was stabbed and injured. Near Itamar, pioneering farmer Itamar Cohen was critically wounded after responding to a fire before being attacked and stabbed by 2 terrorists, according to the latest reports. He is expected to recover. Today, tragedy struck again. Benayahu Melet, 32, head of agriculture at Chavat Gilad, and a member of the community emergency response team, responded after hikers were reportedly attacked near Chavat Gilad. During the confrontation, his rifle was taken and he was fatally shot. 2 other Israelis were also wounded before Israeli security forces engaged the attackers. The attack follows a devastating fire that recently destroyed approximately 30 homes and buildings in Chavat Gilad, adding further strain to communities already facing repeated security incidences. Throughout the past 2 days, additional attacks, arson and stone-throwing incidents have also been reported across the region.
I'm going to read you a couple of quotes from Israel's finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich. He's also the minister over settlement affairs, which means he's over the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria. He said, "The enemy has been raising its head in Judea and Samaria in recent days, and what is needed is immediate, sharp, determined, and unequivocal action by the IDF." He also said, "These are villages of terrorists from which terrorism emerges again and again and again. They should look exactly like the refugee camps in Shechem, Nablus, and Tulkarm." Smotrich also said that he intends to ask Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to approve the establishment of a new community very close to the site of the terrorist attack today. And he said to do so, the area should be transferred from Area B to Area C. And he said, quote, "Israel should take responsibility for it and allow a community to be established there." He said, quote, "That is our fitting Zionist response to the terrorists, to terrorism, and to the desire to undermine our hold on areas of our land." I do want to say there's already been a massive response in the most positive, encouraging way that you can imagine. After the fire last week, tens of thousands of people, I imagine, from Israel and worldwide have already raised 13 million shekels for those affected by the Chavat Gilad fire. Right now, I'm standing on a brand new farm in Samaria between Har Bracha, where our studios are located, and Chavat Gilad. And guess what? There are over 100 Jewish Israelis standing here with us. Their response to terrorist attacks is to come and stand. Their response is to build farms, to build homes, to build Jewish communities. Their response is not to run away in fear, not to run away from terrorism, but to drive out to the hills, the prophetic hills of Judea and Samaria, and show the world they're not afraid. They're still standing, they're still here. We're here with men, women, children, families. We're standing on the side of a beautiful Jewish farm with animals and brand new homes. They're farming the land. This is the Jewish response to terrorism. This is Israel's response to when their people are murdered. This is their response to the haters of the land of Israel. And I have a message for anyone who hates Israel, who hates the Jewish people, whether you're preaching against Israel, whether you're hating on Israel, whether you're spewing propaganda and falsehoods and myths and anti-Semitism. I have a message for you. Israel is strong, Israel is winning, and the Jewish people are not packing up and going home. Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel live and will continue to live.
Viewers, Benayahu Melet leaves behind his wife and 2 young children. His death has become another reminder of the ongoing human costs carried by families and communities living amid continuing violence. May his memory be a blessing.